in the second game, one of the things that and I think maybe in the first game too, but when you play Ellie, when Ellie attacks, she does it monkey style.
They nailed the choreography. It looks exactly like the game.
Yeah.
I love this scene.
She does this thing where she jumps on your back and she goes crazy. Don't bitch ass. Meanwhile, the back like, get this bitch off me! She crazy! Help! Hey everyone, my birthday trip to Costa Rica is coming up in September, courtesy of Trover Trip, and we already have people signed up for this, but we need 4 more people to sign up for this trip. So please come in and take advantage of this early bird special, but also the next 4 people to sign up can take advantage of this code right here for extra discount. So click the link below in the description and let's make this trip happen. Also check out our Patreon, which includes exclusive content, including a new show featuring Martin and myself where we discuss classic films. So I wasn't going to talk about this at first. I was going to wait for some other episodes.
Yeah.
But the premiere for The Last of Us Season 2, it had more viewers than the first episode of last season.
Oh.
Yeah, the premiere of Season 1. This had a larger viewership.
Monsters.
So, this is based on the video game series, the first one, almost by everyone considered a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. One of the greatest games of all time, people would say.
Yeah, it's almost a trailblazer in storytelling, showing what video games really can do with the right script or the right story and the right direction. So, the second game, people kind of split over.
I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of people that hate it. I'm not as enthusiastic about the game as you guys are, but still very ambitious. And hey, it still must be popular if people are making the first episode of Season 2, one of the most viewed episodes of this series. But I thought to get this conversation kicked off about the first episode, because we did not get the whole season like we usually do with some things. Mm-hmm. And it's okay because it'd probably be cool to have these discussions every week. But for this first episode, I thought it would be cool, and you guys can, of course, take this conversation to any other direction you like, but initially talk about, in respect to the game, and also how this is as now, a live-action series, what did they get right? What do we think that they could do better? What do we think they probably got wrong? Because I'm going to tell you, as far as what this does with taking this to a show, a live action show, coming from a video game, I don't think it's perfect, this first episode, but I'm amazed.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at some of the things that they were able to bring from the game into the show. Mm-hmm. And if anybody else had done that, that would have been one of the biggest criticisms of bringing or doing an adaptation of a video game into a show or a movie. A lot of people say things just stop to say, hey, remember this in the game? Now, they do that here, but they do it so seamlessly that you don't have to know anything about that game. But for people who do know the game, they're like, oh, wait a minute, that's what they do when I was playing it. Mm-hmm. That's all. We'll talk about that. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and just get things kicked off.
No, please. Just follow along with whatever you have to do.
Well, yeah, and like I said, I want to keep it open for discussion, but I tell you what, how about this? After I get through talking about how well they do with the, bringing the video game elements into it, then let's make it a little bit looser.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what did y'all think about Pedro Pascal in the show? Because one of the things with Pedro Pascal is that everybody's saying, you know what, we know him too well now. He's in too many goddamn things. Now we've seen the real Pedro Pascal. He's a nice guy. Everybody likes him. He's all giggly all the time now. I don't see you as no tough man anymore. So this whole thing with you playing Joel, take that shit on somewhere else. I thought that this show, funny enough, when I thought, man, I don't know if I can buy him as Joel anymore. Man, I watched this and I thought, this goes to show just how good Pedro Pascal is.
I think he completely disappears in this character. Like
Yes.
with so many other things, I see him as Pedro Pascal. And watching this, I was like, no, he's a different guy here.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why I loved it so much, because just like you said, man, you know, he disappeared into this character. And the reason why I think that he was able to disappear into this character is because it is really kind of far removed from who he is. Because this character's older. Mm-hmm. He's more grizzled.
Yeah, grizzled.
Grizzled. I mean, when I say grizzled, I mean he just, you know.
He's seen some shit and he's done some shit.
He's a broken person.
He looks like a statue that's cracking. You know, and it doesn't help him. He's done a lot of a lot of things that would, you know, anybody with a conscience or a soul, it would just get to them. But also he's dealing with depression now because of one particular thing. But man, I'm just, you know, I think playing an older Joel has really brought a lot to this character. The makeup on it is great, and I loved him in this.
Why is she angry at you?
We're both just figuring it out for the first time is all. We'll get through it.
You know, I think the way he plays it, very, you know, pulled back. You know, the emotion is almost in his silence. Mm-hmm. I think, you know, him playing it older has even required him to change his voice a little bit. He was already doing an accent. You can still tell it's Pedro Pascal, but I'm just like, what you just said, man, he's a totally different person. Mm-hmm. You know, I see it's Pedro Pascal, but I'm not seeing Pedro Pascal. I'm lost in his character.
There's also the way the other characters react to Joel and the way they are about him. Because everybody's kind of afraid of him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. No, because they know what he's done. They ain't gonna beat my ass.
Right. Which is almost verbatim what his brother says.
Yeah, shit, this fool killed a hospital. Mm-hmm. You know? And a lot of people don't know that, but they've seen him kill other buildings. You know, so yeah, man, it's you know, he has that reputation as this is the guy you go to if you need some dirt done, because he'll do it.
Yeah, because they know that he's been a smuggler for over 20 years.
Yeah, and he's, you know, and plus, you know, they know that he's a. Listen, if they didn't see him murder a hospital, they still know that he's collectively, over time, a mass murderer. He's killed a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, he has.
And they ain't been able to get his ass down yet. You know, so it's, yeah, you know, he has that reputation. And, you know, and that's the thing about it. He's tough, but there's also a sadness in that toughness, man. It's heartbreaking to see that you know, this character who really can't afford to show his emotions because he has to keep up his reputation as being tough. You know, but you can see that he's sad because the one thing that he really does love, the thing that he murdered a lot of people for, is Ellie. Yeah. And Ellie is so angry at Joel that, you know, you can see that it's breaking his heart. Man, that scene got to me when they were at the dance.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it was a great combination of the you know, the tough Joel that we know, and then you cheering him on as a hero. If you haven't seen this scene before, you thinking, yeah, get him, Joel, and then to have it turn around and turned on him, I was like, oh man.
Yikes!
What did you just say?
No, Ellie.
Like, what the f- that come from? Shit, he thought he got hit by a bus.
Get the hell out of here. Are you okay?
What is wrong with you? I don't need your fucking help.
Everybody like, you know, like, Dad, you'd have to front him out there in front of everybody like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, that was. I remember that in the game, and it's just as effective here.
It was actually more aggressive in the TV show than it was in the game.
Is that right?
Yeah, in the game, like, he kind of shoves the guy. In the show, he fucking pushes him to the ground.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a while since I played the game, man.
I did a little bit of a refresher. I looked at some of the gameplay of the first part.
Yeah, and that just goes to show how they've been able to take that drama from the game and just kind of even make it better, I think, in the show, because now you don't have gameplay interfering. Yeah. They can make the scenes a little bit longer. And by the way, everybody's good. Ellie, the girl plays Ellie.
Yeah, Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey. I still wish, and this is just somebody who's played the game, I still wish she looked more like the character in the game, but, you know, you can't argue with somebody who's giving a great performance.
Exactly.
You know?
I think her and Joel give great performances, but I personally am so close to those characters that I can't help but see the actors. Like, everybody around them kind of disappears. Like, the standout to me was Dina. I thought that she was really good, but I always I thought they jumped the gun a little bit with Joel in this episode.
Really?
With some of the emotional moments where it's like, you didn't quite earn that yet. Because the first season, they took their time. And I know why they did what they did with him in this first episode, but I really wish they would have waited or not even had one of these moments.
And that's Dina right there. That's pretty much eventually, if you've seen the show, Ellie's love interest. Which we're talking in spoilers now, so I hope you have seen the show. But,
the minute you see the two of them together, there's sparks going, so you know they're going to get together.
Oh, yeah, of course. But, and listen, as I usually say, I'm just giving a different perspective here. I don't want you to think I'm arguing with your point.
No, I don't think so at all.
Because there's people who think like that. And even to a certain degree, I think like that. But I think that...
I'm just being honest.
No, and that's what we want you to do. And I think that, but for me watching this, I think this is something where that's the strength of the show, where I was able to get past me being so attached to the characters in the game. And I said, you know what, if these actors can make me believe that they are those characters, then they've done their job. The show has done its job. And like I said, watching Joel and even Bella Ramsey here, I'm like, they don't look like the characters, but I don't notice it after I watch them performing.
I tell you, I go you one better. I'm watching this and I don't even think of the game. I'm into this as a drama itself.
I'm kind of there with you on that. That's what you're supposed to do, and I think it has to do with things that they embellished on in here. I mean, you don't want to just regurgitate for the people who've seen it. Mm-hmm. I mean, for the people who've been through this before, give them something new too.
What's funny about that is I think the way that they approach this is a good way to get the story of the game if you rush through it, because a lot of the dialogue they have is stuff that you can miss, that you got where you got to press triangle to interact with the characters.
Yeah.
So I thought that this was like a fun way to catch some dialogue you might have missed.
Yeah, for those of us who said, man, I could watch the cutscenes alone, here we are, with better production or, real people now. But I think adding things to it is really enriching the experience again. I really enjoyed this scene that was not in the game, and that's the psychiatrist scene with Catherine O'Hara. I just thought it was a well-written scene where you have Jeremy. What am I talking about? Joel. Joel going to see the psychiatrist, and then it gets deeper because. Now that the therapist needs therapy. She turned it on him.
I love she takes a drink and you're like, I hate you, right?
Yeah, she gets drunk. I never liked your ass. You stupid bitch. But, he's like, what the happened? Because he sees her drink and he's like, this ain't your first one today. And she's like, you goddamn right it ain't. Here, let me get another because you about to hear some shit.
It's not your first one of the day.
Oh, no, it isn't. You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
Like, I don't want to hear this. He's like, you don't have to. Ain't this my time?
Can I tell you something? I'd rather you not.
Damn, I just brought you weed. Come on.
You shot and killed my husband.
All this
You
shit
killed
again.
Eugene. I hate you for it.
Why you bringing up old shit?
Yeah, exactly. Boy, everybody with a vagina hates me now.
Yeah, all the women in his life can't stand him. It's I just thought for something that was added, I thought that was a really good scene. I thought it was well written. It's not exactly on the level of having a whole episode that was not in the game. So, like last season when they had the gay relationship episode.
Right. So who is Eugene?
Eugene was a character, I was just going to say, who is in the game. He's like one of those side things. You can see like a picture of him or something, but he's never directly in the game.
Okay. And why did Joel shoot him?
Apparently it was because he turned.
Oh.
But it's something that we don't know.
Okay.
Which is cool that they even brought that into there. Again, they created this great dramatic scene. I mean, this is a very mature and well written scene, and that's what I'm talking about. They were able to bring stuff from the game into that.
Yeah.
And make something where if you don't know, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But for someone like me who knows this character super well, this is the moment I was talking about where they kind of jumped the gun with him, where I was like, that what they're talking about, like the information revealing that's his whole character. Like, so I don't need a scene to directly say that. But to your point, I think that this scene is really great. And as this scene alone, I think it's awesome. But for this story, it's out of place. It's too early for me.
Okay, fair enough. But you know what? I'll say this. I think that's maybe something where that is that is a criticism maybe for people who have played the game or is very close to it, because I don't know, Martin, how you know, well, you played the game.
Yeah, I played the game.
Yeah, but you say you've kind of get lost in the story. You don't even see the game anymore. What did you feel about this scene?
I thought it was brilliant, especially the two actors playing off of each other. It just kind of hung me up with the "you killed my husband, Eugene." I was like trying to go back in my brain, like, "Fuck, who was Eugene, and when did you kill him?" But other than that, I thought it was amazing. And Catherine O'Hara's been hitting it out of the park lately.
Man, she is.
She
has
good.
been. Yeah. No, she's amazing. I was just happy to have her in the show because she brings, you know, some weight to the show with her performances.
There's just a big moment where Joel starts to cry in that scene, and I was just like, too early.
Really?
It was too early.
I mean, we're second season already.
Yeah.
but too early in the like it. This it just doesn't feel necessary for me in the story.
I don't know, because there's so much tension built up in how Ellie is treating him, and I feel like he needed that release.
Especially after what he just, you know, but listen, you have to understand, it's 5 years of tension between those two.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's kind of appropriate that he's crying. You know, I'm surprised he's on the ground. Why? You know, it's like, because it's been they tell you it's 5 years.
Yeah.
He's carried that weight with him a long time. That's why he's in therapy right now, talking to her. But I get it. You know, that's the thing. Everybody sees something different. Especially if you're familiar with the story. So we're talking about the drama, and you know, to a certain extent, it works for all of us. I mean, I still even think it works for you.
Oh, I think that the actors do an amazing job. It's just I'm a big stickler about this game, and I'm perfectly honest about that. Like I'm not gonna hide that. Like I'm very specific about how I would want The Last of Us.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these things are very. You know, listen, if you played this game, if you love this story, everybody has a personal attachment to it. And they see different things. But I tell you. So they're doing the drama so well, and as I said earlier, I'm impressed by how they still were able to bring in stuff from the game. I mean, things that you played in the game. You know, the mechanics of the game when you play it. They brought that into scenes where, you know, the scenes are done so well. You probably don't even know unless you just remember it from the game, and then you're even more impressed because you're amazed how the show just doesn't stop to say, hey, remember when you did that in the game? They don't do that here. And believe me, they do throw a lot of stuff in there that they didn't have to, but they did it well. When I say, you know, there's a lot of play mechanics that are brought into the show. So for anybody who has played the game, the first one and the second one, what's one of the things that you do to distract the infected? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Throw bottles.
Yeah,
Throw bottles. And
they always got their arms.
Yeah.
You throw that bottle, and they're like,
who wants some shit?
yeah.
You know, they got it down. Like in a game, you throw a bottle and they react just like that. They have the same movements. They make the same sounds. If you've played the game, you know that they got that 100% right. And again, it's not something just to please the fans. They incorporate it into a scene. You know, in the second game, one of the things that and I think maybe in the first game too, but when you play Ellie, when Ellie attacks, she does it monkey style.
They nailed the choreography. It looks exactly like the game.
Yeah.
I love this scene.
She does this thing where she jumps on your back and she goes crazy. Don't bitch ass. Meanwhile, the back like, get this bitch off me! She crazy! I think, now you could tell me because you know the game very well. I think they even bring some quick time moments.
I didn't quite notice it. There was one part at the beginning that kind of felt like the tutorial, like when don't pull your punches again, stuff like that.
Well, whenever you get attacked by one of the infected. There are times, sometimes that's
If you have an extra knife, you can stab them.
That's your ass if you don't have a shiv on you. So I think they even got that down to where when Ellie's attacked, I think she does. I don't know if she has a shiv, and I think Dina saves her. But still, they got that feeling down of that part of the game where you're attacked and you have just a few seconds to get out of the situation. Oh, that's a stalker, by the way, and that was one of the
new infected from the second game.
Yeah, it was one of the new enemies from the second game, and they got it down here. Nope. That was the cool thing about the game is that they actually would, when you got ready to shoot, they run.
Oh yeah.
And then they'd hunt you down. So I thought that was really cool that they were able to bring all those elements in the game, please the fans, but not just, as they say, not do like extreme fan service. They incorporated into the story. Like I said, a lot of movies and shows that are adapted from video games, they try to do that, and it just brings attention to itself.
Sure.
They just know how to fully adopt the aesthetic of the game without beating you over the head with it. It's like when they look out through a crosshair, it's a crosshair from the game. When there's a moment from the game happening, it looks like the game.
Yeah, you noticed something, man.
Oh yeah. And you saw it too.
Well, after you mentioned it, yeah.
It's cool, right?
Let me see here. It's do you have the timestamp?
I do. Yeah.
I know
I emailed you the clip exactly with the timestamp on it. I believe.
It's an Easter egg that he found. Of course, he'd be the one.
Yeah.
You know those movies Joel likes?
Yeah, I know.
I was actually gonna maybe watch them tomorrow night with him, if you want to join.
That's the chick that played Dora the Explorer.
Oh yeah. Okay. I knew she looked familiar.
Yeah. Dora the Explorer, and she was what else was she in? Something recently, but anyway.
Patrol? Yeah.
Hey, bitch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Patrol. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, was there?
Yeah, you gotta look careful. So there's a part early on in the game where when you're leaving, always when you grab the knife, you have to press the triangle button and a thing would appear over it. And if you look at this table, there are multiple places where you can see triangles there. There's one in the middle. There's one on the right there that's like engraved to the table. They're all over the place.
Now, normally I'd call you crazy, but it's right there. There's a triangle right there. You ain't lying.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them. There's one, you can't see it on this screen, but there's another one over there.
Now, you sure that one exists? You're seeing triangles everywhere now.
First it was cubes.
Yeah,
now it's
cubes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told him yesterday. I was like, "You're gonna love this. I got more shape bullshit."
Yeah, no, it is. There is a triangle right there. You're not lying.
Yeah, I thought that was really cute the way they did that. That was clever.
So, Caitlin Dever as Abby. Listen,
I've said this from day one or day zero that she's just not Abby.
no, she's not, and I hate to say that, man. And let me tell you why. Because she's good. She's
an amazing actress.
She is. I love her in that movie Booksmart. She's great. She's a great actress.
When we kill him, we kill him slowly.
Now she's got the anger
Yeah.
of the character of Abby, and everybody knows why Abby's upset. If you played the game, the doctor that was killed at the hospital when Joel was massacring everybody, that was her father. But the thing with Abby, so Abby's huge in the game.
Abby's like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
She comes across as someone who's been a bully her whole life.
Well, or been bullied.
Yeah.
The thing is, it would be different if it was just, a visual thing or just, some sort of just visual aesthetic with her. But her size is her character, is a reflection of her anger.
Yeah.
She's trained. She's all this time she's been angry and trained for the moment that she's going to kill Joel, and she already knows Joel has a reputation for being a bad dude that can handle himself. So she's prepared herself for that. That is such part of her character.
It is, and how she carries herself, how she treats the people around her friends, and her single-mindedness, and from all that setup with that Abby from the game. You're like, well, shit, they got a real threat coming after them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And then here in the show, with Caitlin Deaver, it was like, well, you mad, girl, but good luck to you.
And especially the difference with how they introduce her. First of all, in the game, they don't even give away who she's looking for.
Right.
Which is a awesome moment when he says, I'm Joel, and everyone's like, that's the guy.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah. That's true.
And they got rid of that.
Yeah.
Because like she's like, I'm gonna kill Joel. It's like you didn't need that. And especially when they establish her, she looks like a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with you on that, and I think the way they handled it in the game would have been better, like the way you're describing it.
Yeah, and the way that they introduce it, like in the game, she's like fucking crazy looking. She's looking out the window. It's night. She's like, I'm gonna kill this guy. It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
like what is even going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, you spend time as her. Yeah, only to find out that like, oh, this is Joel she's been hunting this whole time. Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. So man, I'm not crazy about this part of the show at all, and I hate to be that petty with it, but it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't.
To be fair, I think they're trying to show her when she was younger, but she looks so small.
So maybe somebody said, and I don't know. They said maybe she bulks up later. I don't know.
No.
I doubt it.
But she would have to grow taller as well.
That is true.
They show
this-
her when she would be bulked up.
Yeah.
This is the Tom Cruise playing Jack Reacher kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's a great comparison. I'm not crazy about Ellie right now. I know Ellie's angry, and I don't mind the anger. Like that thing that's going on between her and Joel, that's great. But they make Ellie just more
Reckless.
Reckless and more of a brat.
Yeah.
Irresponsible. I'm really not liking this early version of Ellie that I see in this episode.
Listen quick, see if any are in there.
Hey, come on. Rules. Fine.
Were they this childish in the game?
Those characters who were talking to them weren't even in the game, and they're definitely playing Ellie more like a bitch in the TV show.
Yeah.
And I noticed it where they're breaking the rules, and I guess they were doing that to like elevate the stakes maybe a little bit, but it is shifting the character of Ellie. Like, we really like her because without Ellie, there's no Last of Us, okay? Like, this story is done once she is gone.
Yeah.
And the way they're playing her, it seems like they're getting ahead of it because by the end of this story, she is crazy. And it seems like they're trying to push her there too quick. And I get it that her and Joel are both assholes at the beginning. This, like in the marketing, they've been going like, "We're putas." I get it, but that's like a twist, you know. Like, we'll get there. There has to be like a moment where things shift, and they're kind of jumping the gun.
Well, you know, she kind of up here, real bad, but not the worst. But she seems like she's on track to get somebody killed.
And it's pretty accurate to the game, I would say, of how she up.
Yeah.
Like that part of her falling through the floor, that's in the game.
Yeah.
I just don't remember her being this bratty in the game, though.
Right. Yeah, you don't like spending time with her.
No, I really don't like her now. I'm really admiring some of the things that they did, more or less with the writing of the bigger story and how they incorporated a lot of things from the game, how they've expanded the story from the game. Joel, I like a lot. New characters like Catherine O'Hara, I like a lot. Some of the other characters, I'm not feeling, as we just said.
Yeah. Well, just like with the movie we talked about a little earlier, G20. There's that thing where, we got a teenage character, we got to make them a brat.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't always have that. That's not what all of them are like.
That's not what Ellie was, and that's why we were able to understand her anger and cope with her, even when she was going crazy, because she wasn't that unlikable.
Yeah.
We understood her anguish, but she wasn't being childish like she was in here.
Plus, I mean, look, we don't know what happened over the last 5 years, but we were like, man, Joel saved your life.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like the game, she doesn't like the secret withheld from her. But see, that's the thing. In the game, the way it's written and the way Ellie is, you kind of get Ellie's point in a way, of Joel just keeping secrets from her and now putting this guilt on her in a way.
Yeah.
Here, it's because she's acting like a brat. Now she's acting like a brat in that scene. At least that's the way it comes across in a way. So I don't know, man. I'm liking it, not loving it so far, but we'll see where things go.
I'm kind of curious / a little bit worried how they're going to play these out. Because for those of you that know, early on in The Last of Us Part 2, there is a big moment that happens. And there is a lot of flashbacks in this story.
Yeah.
And if they reorganize everything and that big moment, they don't have that happen early on, they're going to lose this melancholy element that happened every time Joel shows up later in the story, where it's like, it's almost dreamlike.
Yeah,
like the scene where Ellie and Joel walk through that museum. I love that part. And it's really special. And they have to have had that one moment for it to be special.
So there you go, guys.
I'd give it a high matinee, though, for what it's worth.
Yeah, no, I'm giving it a matinee area. It's probably matinee right now.
I'd go with high matinee
yeah.
for now. But yeah, I also really liked but didn't love it. It left me with a And I thought they were going to release 2 episodes at once. So I was like, all right, well, this next one will... I was like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So, hey, but who knows where this is going to go? This is kind of the cool thing about watching this week by week, because usually we get the whole episode, but we're in the dark just like you guys are. So, well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it, and check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon, where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.